Morning everyone, it's Saturday the 11th of December. I'm going Farlow's tomorrow for 48/72 hours and I'm going on a maggot approach. I've already been down the tackle shop, got a gallon of maggot, and I'm making up some maggot rigs, and people ask what rigs I use, blah blah blah, and can I show them how I make my rigs. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll show you the components I'm using for this maggot rig, and I'll show you from start to finish. You can tie it yourself. It's quite an easy rig, but it's a very very good rig. I use Carper Supernatural in 18 pound it is, or I use the dark matter. So you need that. I use size 6 captor wide gape Carper. People moan about Carper hooks. I've been using them for since day one. Never had a problem with Carper hooks. All my terminal tackles Carper. Got an anti-tangle sleeve to go over quick clip. Bit of shrink tube, the stiff stuff. That's just to keep the hair and that in place on the rig when it's finished. Braid scissors. The Carper pop-up corn. Obviously baiting needle. And I use size 12 barbless Guru hooks. These are just to keep the maggots in place, and I'll show you how easy it is. Instead of all the threading with a needle and that, I mean, you can use it, or you can use the maggot clips. The only thing with the maggot clips, if you don't put the point back into the retainer bit, it's quite a dangerous clip in my opinion anyway. I don't really use this. I've got them, but I don't really use them. Right, so we'll start. Let me put the camera down a little bit so you can see. You're not going to see my face much, but I can't help that. Right, so we're going to strip about a foot of Supernatural. Then we get the baiting needle and the corn. With this is important how you put this corn on, yeah? So you need to go right in the corner of the corn, because it's how the hook's going to sit when it sits back in. Yeah, and then come out in the middle of the corn, yeah? Thread that onto your braid, yeah, so you like that. That's how it should look. Get your size 12. You can use any hook. It doesn't matter, but barbless is obviously easier. And then literally thread that through the eye. My eyesight's bloody awful now at my age. 10 minutes later, not really. It's not the easiest bit to do. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put my glasses on. Got to this age, I don't have to wear them normally, but when I'm doing rigs and stuff, these are like a pound in Poundland or whatever they are, but they're brilliant. So just thread that through. I'll tell you what, I'm going to make a clean cut on that because it's a bit free. Right, that's through, and then literally all I do, just pull that out of the way, the corner, doesn't matter. Hold the hook, form a little loop, round 3 or 4 times. It's not actually doing anything, this hook, apart from holding the maggots in place. And then back through the loop at the start, which is what I use most. These are most of the knots I use anyway, is a blood knot. Yeah, just pull that down tight, and it's like that. Cut the tag end off. Do it with your braid scissors, and I'll just burn that end off like that. That just stops that. And you'll see what I mean about when this goes in. This goes in. Yeah, so if you look where that is, the eye's actually gone in at that angle, see? Now, when you put the maggots on and pull it down tight, it sits right in the middle. See that's finished? So you've got a bit of corn. Next, I'll get my size 6 wide gate. Back through the eye, hold it where you want it to be. So I allow probably about that sort of distance there, yeah? Go around 8 times, knotless knot. Back through the eye. Pull that tight. Yeah, see that's how you're finished. And then what I do is I get a piece of shrink tube, about 1/2 inch, something like that. I use a baiting needle to go through it, it's easier. Just pull that through. Pull that through like that. And the reason why I use this is it's to keep the hair in place so it doesn't slip, because it can go to around the side and stuff like that. So I just slide that over. Yeah. And then I leave a little piece just past the eye. Yeah. And then when I steam it, I have a kick on it at this angle. I'll pull it tight like that when I steam it. Next, I put on the anti-tangle sleeve because I use quick clips. So again, baiting needle through it because it's a nightmare to thread. Pull that through, and you want to be ending up a rig that sort of size, yeah. So I'll do figure of 8. Figure of 8 knot. Baiting needle back through because it's a lot easier than trying to pull it back through. And there we go. There we go. Start that again. So, and the reason why I use the soft is it's very supple, whatever I'm fishing over with. And what I finish it off with is a PVA bag of maggot. Just burn that tag, pull that back up, and we'll end up like that. So it's easy to clip on, clip off. So you're looking at a rig probably at maximum 5-6 inches. Yeah, I'll show you a finished one because I've shrunk this one already. I'm not going to go to the kettle and stuff like that, but that's how it will sit. Yeah, so literally all you got to do is pull that hook out, hook your maggots on, yeah, pull it back through, and this is how it sits. I've got a glass here just to show you guys how it will sit, yeah. But that is how it sits on the bottom, if you can see that. And you can imagine your bunch of maggots above it with your mesh bag that's dissolved. So that is a really, really simple but effective rig. And what I use for my PVA bags is the Corda, this one, yeah, it's the Hex Fine Mesh, so the maggots and that can't crawl through. And the bag I use will be about that sort of size, round. It's so simple. And I literally, all I do is hook the bag on. I don't mess about, and then I use a bit of foam, bit of foam, just to cover the hook, to stop the hair wrapping. And that's that rig done. What I'm going to do, I'm going to move on to my normal blowback rig in a minute. I'll show you how to make that one as well. But you know, I'm not saying what I do is to be an end all of all rigs, but they work for me. So I'm just going to go through it. You know, a few guys are asking, so it doesn't take long. But the other thing is as well is definitely preparation before you go fishing, because when you're fishing you're tempted to be a bit lazy because you're relaxing. So I'll get my rigs all made up before I go. So yeah, that's that first rig. Be back to you soon with the second one. Right, I'm going to go on to the my blowback rig that I use. I use N-Trap, the semi-stiff stuff. Yeah, so I'm going to cut off about a foot, and then I'm going to strip back about 5 or 6 inches, just in the stripper tool. Yeah, so about, not even that probably. That's it there. So that's the supple bit that I'm going to use. Yeah, and then tie a loop in the end for your, literally for, you know, for your hair. Yeah, again, needle makes so much life so much easier. So end up like that. Cut the tag off, and then what I do is I get a rig ring. It's all different. Obviously, they do different sizes. I've got all different sizes in there, but I like the medium size one. And all I do, because I know I'm fishing a bottom bait or even a snowman on this rig, so I'll roughly get to the distance I want. Overhand loop. Yeah, I know roughly where I want that, and that's there. Yeah, and then we're going to get Calder captive curve, size 6 again, and I'm going to literally go through the loop, the rig ring, like that, go through it, and that's lined up where I want it, which is rough. I like to have it roughly with the point of the hook. So if you go just past it towards the bend, and when you do your knotless knot and pull it tight, it should end up in the correct position. So I'm literally going to go around it, and you'll still see there's supple there, yeah, up to there. So I'm going to go around 6 times, back through, pull that tight, and you'll see that the rig ring's now level with the point. And I've also got the last little bit there, which is really flexible. See that? I don't do nothing else to that rig apart from put an anti-tangle sleeve on. Yeah, you can use a little the Calder kicker, but I like that little bit of movement there. Now this gives me the option of bottom baits, snowman, and the thing is as well with this rig, if you're fishing a snowman, you'll see that this bit here, when you put the bottom bait on, whether it's an 18 or 15, it will slide up and down it, and if you're fishing with a top bit of corn or half a pop-up or whatever, they'll separate. A little tip, just do an overhand loop and put a knot there. Yeah, or the other thing you can do is make this loop where you put your bait on bigger, so it's double thickness, and that stops the bait slipping. Or another one is to use a little float stop, just slide that on and it will stop wherever you want the baits, and it will hold it there. But this rig, I tell you, it's caught me so many fish. So many fish. I use this for my balanced tiger nuts, double bottom bait, single bottom bait, snowman, and it's a brilliant rig. And what I did, obviously I took the cover off of the hook, but I put it back on, so it doesn't get damaged in my rig box. And that's the finished rig. You can strip it back a bit further if you want and put a bit of shrink tube or a Calder kicker. Where's my kickers? Oh, my Calder kickers are here. So you can even put a little kicker on it. Yeah. But that's how I like to fish it. And all I do is put a bit of PVA nugget on there when I cast out, and the stiffness of this with the anti-tangle kicks it away, the rig away, and it's perfect. So that is my little blowback rig. So you've got so much movement with the suppleness, Yeah, so that's that one. My next one, I'll do the my stiff hinge rig. I'll do that because I use that probably 90% of my fishing, especially places like Farlow's where there's a lot of weed and a lot of silt. I don't fish the gravel. I don't like to fish gravel. There's no food in gravel. I like to fish either side of gravel in silt gullies and stuff. That's where all the food is, or weed. So you know, I make sure my rigs are presented 100% every time. I never cast out without a bit of PVA nugget. It's just a confidence thing for me, and it's a sight for me to bait up. I don't really like spomming. I like to put stuff out in catapult range or a little PVA bag. I don't really fish solid PVA bags. So yeah, they're the two rigs so far for the bottom bait or wafter. You can put a wafter on. It doesn't really matter. You can use anything on this rig really, to be honest. You could even fish it on a pop-up because you could make that bit shorter. Do you know what I mean? You weight on there, sorted. Very, very versatile rig. So yeah, I'll come back to you guys when I'll start making. I'm gonna make a few of these up now. I'm not gonna film while making up 5-6 of them, and then we go to the stiff hinges. All right, I'll speak to you soon. Right, guys. Right, we're gonna go over to the chod. Yeah. So what I use is 25-pound mouth trap. Captive again, the choddy hooks in a size 6. And this is no fast rule of whatever height you want it, yeah, but I've cut that amount off. And a really, really good tip is when you cut this, cut it at an angle so it's got like a point on it. It's easy to get back through the eye of the hook. Yeah. So literally we're going to go through like you would on a normal rig, yeah. So pull it through, probably about to about there, like that. And I used a curve. You see already it's got a curve. That's the way I've taken it off of the spool. And I literally go round 3 or 4 times. You don't really need that much on this stuff because it don't go nowhere. And then back through the eye, which is sometimes a bit of a pain in the backside, but that's actually gone through really well. Yeah, pull that tight so you end up like that. Yeah, I'll bend all that out how I want it in a minute, but that's the finished bit there. And then I'm just going to put my glasses on because I need to get this back through. And then all you do is get a rig ring, put that on. This is how I do it. Other people probably do it completely different to me, which is good enough, you know. I'm not saying I'm the best at anything because I'm not. I learn all the time. And then literally back through the eye. You've got to persevere with it, but you will get it through. Here it goes. Yeah, because it's quite stiff, so you've got to mess about with it. Alright, pull it through and you'll end up with like a curve on the back of the hook there, see it? I like it like that, sort of like that. Yeah, and then just get a pair of scissors, cut it, but leave a little tag. So I'll cut that off and I've left a little tag there. Yeah, get your lighter and just blob the end off and it stops it coming back through. So like that, you'll see that now, there's a little blob there. Just cut that back a little bit more. Yeah, and that can't go anywhere now, that's stuck. Where that is, that's completely in position, yeah, that can't go nowhere, yeah. So that's what you're looking at, yeah. And then you get the big, and it's the big-eyed swivel from Cordy, yeah. So I go through this one. This mouth trap literally doesn't need any more than 1 or 2 turns like a blood knot, yeah, because it doesn't slip. So I could just go around once. I mean, you can make these any length you like. I have them all different sizes, from 1 inch to 2 inches to 3 inches. It's entirely up to you how you want to do it. So you end up like a loop like that, yeah. And I literally just wet it, hold it in my teeth, and pull it down tight, yeah. Which is like that. Yeah, so you should end up with something like that. Again, cut that off, and then the little bit you got there, just blob it again so it can't slip. It won't, but just blob it like that, yeah. Get your rig tool. I normally get my rig tool, put it through that swivel, and I've got a little pair of forceps that I hold the hook so I don't bend the hook out, yeah, and then just pull, literally. That's solid. And what I do is I just get my fingers. You can roll it over something if you want to roll it over something, yeah. And then you can bend it. You can get it however you want. You can have it. You can have whatever curve you like, really. And then what I do, you can whatever material you want to use. For your hook length, I use end trap, and I literally tie that direct to that swivel. I'm not going to tighten it now because I put these in my chop bin, but literally you just attach this to whatever length you want. The same thing, anti-tangle for the quick link, and that's how I do my chods. It's a brilliant rig. I mean, this is my hinge stiff, obviously. What you can use that as a choddy if you wanted to. And what I'd do then, if I was using it on a choddy, I'd tie this bit onto the small bit of the eye. So this big eye is like run up and down the line for your chod. So that's how I do it. I mean, if you go in the shop, Call to sell these ready-made for like £5, I don't even know how much that, about £5 for free. You just seen how quick you made that, yeah? You can get a hell of a lot of rigs off of a spool of mouth trap. So experiment, guys, and you will get it wrong the first few times, because I did, but in the end you get it right. The other variation of this, I think AD Blandford's done it, is a double thickness of, actually I'll show you it, it's a double thickness of the mouth trap, and the carp really can't deal with it when they pick it up. I'll show you one I've done here. If you see on here, it's like double thickness, you see it? And I've used this, I was going to use it for a running chod basically, because I think the mechanics of it is brilliant. And all I've done on this one is I put a bait screw, yeah, but I've done it like a multi-rig, so I can just pop that off and change the hook, yeah. To me, that's a very good rig. So yeah, that's another option, another way of doing it. And the carp really can't deal with that in their mouths. It's so stiff. Once they get hooked, they just can't deal with it. So yeah, that's another option. So literally, just do the same thing, thread it like your multi-rig, guys. If you know, multi-rigs are very easy to do. But the good thing about this, like you say, you can change the hook for a new hook, sharp hook, or smaller hook, bigger hook, whatever you want. But yeah, that's a very good rig as well. Anyway, I hope you get out there and have a go at tying your own rigs. Listen, people are going to have variations to what I do, but at the end of the day, the rigs work for me. So I can't, you know, I'm not saying that they're the best rigs in the world, because they're probably not. People have got variations to it, but these are what I do. And I try and make all my rigs before I go fishing. Then I know they're in the box, they're in my rig wallet, they're ready to go. At the minute, my rig wallet is very empty at the minute, because I've literally, I don't know if you can see, they're my mag rigs. There's a few pop-up rigs here. Ronnie rig. I'll show you one of my Ronnie rigs. That one. I use Ronnie rigs with boom, quarter boom, with crimps. So that's a 4 curve, hook bead, yet again a bait swivel, ring, you know, the screws, bit of shrink tube, and I use boom. Yeah, that's in £25, and I tell you what, it's brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant stuff. You've got to fish a pretty clean bottom, to be honest, when using this sort of stiff material. But yeah, crimp them. It doesn't come off. I wouldn't advise crimping end trap or anything like that, because it slides the material, the plastic coating. So don't crimp that. I've tried it and it doesn't work. But yeah, this boom, you crimp that and it's absolutely brilliant. But yeah, little Ronnie rig. It looks big, but listen, I put a 12mm pop up on that. I've caught a lot of fish on this rig, especially last winter when I was fishing Farlows in the open water there. It's pretty clear down that end. But again, PVA nugget, two nuggets on this, so it sits. If I am on a bit of silt, yeah, it will still flick out, because I'm using that as a kicker. When I cast out, the whole thing goes out. Nuggets are holding the rig up like that, and it slowly just flicks down. It's a really, really, really good rig, and it nails them in the bottom lip every single time. But you know, rigs can become confusing, very complicated. People see rigs in magazines and they start changing over to them. I've been using the same rigs for bloody hell 20 years. Literally, most of my fishing up to about 3-4 years ago was a simple knotless knot rig, and it caught me so many fish. But I wasn't really a pop-up fan. I used to always fish bottom bait. It's hard on the bottom. But the last 5 years, honestly, I'd say 90% of my fishing now is pop-ups. At different I'd say the Ronnie rig, I use it not very often. I don't use it very often because I've got so much confidence in my hinge diff rigs. On a size 8 or a size 6. 8s I really do prefer, because it really, you know, grabs them. So you know, if you're confident in a rig, don't change just because the fashion is this rig's doing this, or you see a well-known angler in the front cover of a paper with a 40-pounder who caught on a certain rig, and you think, I'm going to use that rig to hopefully catch a big fish. Listen, keep it simple. You know, the least amount of metal work on a rig, in my opinion, you know, is the way forward. I really do. I mean, there is quite a bit on that, to be honest, but it's a very simple rig. And you know, you can see the movement on that. It's just whatever way the carp comes in on that rig is getting nailed. But you know, give them a try. You know, just if you've got any questions on any rigs, or you're not sure about something, ask away. There's going to be people that are commenting saying that rig's crap, whatever. But hey ho, yeah, I fish for fun. I'm not interested. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I'm not interested in all that. I do it for myself. I know that when I cast a rig out, whatever water I go on, whether it's France, UK or whatever, I know that that's 100% fishing, and if I get a pick up on that rig, I've nailed that fish. Yeah. I can't remember the last time I actually lost a fish, apart from a cut off I had at Farlows on a mussel bed. I don't even know what it was, to be honest. But if I get a take, I'm 100% sure that I'm landing that fish, and that's you've got to have confidence in that. And I don't fish maggots very often. I don't like the mess of them all, that's basically. But I know that now it's the time to get on maggots at Farlows. The carp are in the weed. I know exactly where I want to be going tomorrow. They're on the naturals, so to me, it's got to be maggots. If they're smashing the naturals at the minute, I know a few people that have fishing Farlows and they're catching carp and chop worm, big carp. It's an old school method, yeah. people just go there with boilies. I mean, I'm taking some particle tomorrow with me as well. But people go there with boilies. Yeah, you will definitely still catch on the boilies, but to me, if they're smashing in the weed, because the weed's now dying off, it's the last of it, the naturals are in there. If you're using maggots, it's common sense they're going to start picking them up, and to me, that's what I want to do. I know what area I want to get to. I've been watching the Farlow's page for the last few weeks. I know a few guys that have been fishing up there. I know exactly where I want to be going. Normally I get there, I'd walk around the lake to look for the fish, but I know exactly where they are in a minute. It's going to be cold tonight again, a frost. The weed holds the warmth in the water, especially if you've got depth of water as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting down at Farlow's tomorrow. Farlow's got a deal on at the minute as well. You get 48 hours, 54 quid, and you get extra 24 hours for £1. So it's a no-brainer, isn't it, really? Get down there for 72 hours. I'm going to get it all filmed, obviously. There's a couple of guys down there that follow my YouTube channel. I'm going to try and meet up with them, have a chat with them. And I'm 3 subscribers away from 500. So only 3 subscribers to literally get this competition done. And then we can sort out that session, whoever wins that. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. Going back to the first rig, the maggot rig with a pop-up sweet corn. Obviously it's a pop-up, but I'm fishing at like 6, 7, 8 inch rigs or whatever, because I'm actually hooking a PVA stocking bag on. But you can fish that in a solid bag by just shortening it to like 3, 4 inches. I don't really fish solid bags. I mean, I probably should, to be honest, but I don't really fish them. But you could put that in a bag with a pellet or even maggot or whatever, and then that'd be a bloody good rig. It wafts really good. So as soon as they pick up them maggots, the ball of maggots on top of that sweet corn, it goes straight in their mouth. It's so light, and the idea of using a supple braid is it's the same thing. There's so much movement, it goes fly straight in the back of their mouth, and it's going to nail them. But yeah, you'll see how I progress on my session tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to tie up another 30 rigs, something like that, and then go in my garage, sort out all bits and pieces. I'm getting everything on charge at the minute to get down there. But guys, if you've not seen my videos before and you like them, or you like this rig video or whatever, please subscribe. I appreciate it, and we'll see how we go. I may even go live on the bank. I've never done that before, but I've noticed a few people that I know, AD, Leon Bartrop, they're going live. You've got Carl G, there's a few guys now in our community that go live, so I might try and go live on the bank and see what happens. You can throw some questions across or whatever. If I can't answer them, somebody else will. That's how we work. But yeah, really looking forward to it. Anyway guys, next time I speak to you, I'll be on the bank tomorrow when I get there. Tight lines all. Speak to you soon. Bye.